Talking about alarm clocks in Northeast PA's classic rock 107. It's Prospector Show. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate.
Now, Kate, a friend of mine said, I don't know why anybody wouldn't use just the top of the hour, and just the bottom of the hour, 30 minutes after. And I'm like, dude, here's mine. I showed him my 7 alarms, 05, 10 after, 15 after, 20 after, 25 after, 30 after.
It's too many.
You have how many alarms?
1.
See, that seems like too little.
and it's just 3:30.
All right, we're going to start on the rock lines with Brenda, who sent us a screenshot, too, on our Facebook. They're all off, but they're like 5:36. She's got a 6:41. She's got a 6:50, 7:05, 7:07, 7:47. Brenda, what the hell? What's going on? Why are they so different?
Well, they're different because I don't always like to nail it right on the time. If I have to wake up at 8 o'clock, I don't want to wake up that early, so I'm trying to work my way to getting up then.
So you have to get up at 8 a.m. Let's say that's the scenario. What's your alarm?
That 7:07 would be like, okay, you're going to have to wake up soon kind of thing. So then when it goes off, I'll just flip over. Okay, turn that one off. I know I have more coming, so then the next one goes off. I'm awake a little bit more, so I'm not a morning person.
Gotcha.
Obviously. This helps me get there.
That helps him get there.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm a morning person.
Who knows? Maybe you are. I don't know.
Vanessa from your Instagram said, because of work, I have 7:18 a.m. and 7:38 a.m.
All right, so 20-minute difference. I get it.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Kim said 3:37 a.m. and I have no idea why, and I still use an old school alarm clock on the side of my bed.
Nah, that's crazy to me, too. You're risking catastrophe there if you turn it off once and you're done. We put it on our Facebook, and one of the responses was a guy named Michael who's on the rock lines. Michael, you sent us a screenshot, so let me just run it down. Some of your alarms that you have on your phone, 1204, 1215, 104, 119. Now, they're all shut off now, but what the hell, dude?
Well, I have those set because with me doing snow plowing, I like to get up and check the weather, take a peek out the window, see what it's doing. If it's not doing anything, lay back down for a few minutes because I've seen the weather change in a matter of 5 minutes.
Okay, so are these alarms, do you set them like they all go off, or it just depends on the day, 1 or 2 of them go off?
So basically it depends on the days. If we're in the middle of a snowstorm event, I'll have all those set. So then that way, being out all hours of the day, I tend to get pretty tired, and in case I missed one, I wanted to make sure I heard the next one, so on and so forth.
That seems crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're not the only ones getting up at outrageous hours.
Absolutely.
Carolyn from your Instagram said, I hate to wake up, so I have a bunch. 6, 6:10, 6:15, 6:20, 6:25, and 6:30.
Orderly 5-minute increments.
Too many. Valerie from your Twitter said, I don't even need to set an alarm. I set it for 6 a.m., but I'm awake by 4:30 or 5.
All right, Maureen on the rock lines. Tell us about your alarms, Rock 107.
On Sundays, I have to wake up, or I have to be to work for 4, so my alarms begin at 1:50 a.m.
Oh, my God.
I don't do morning.
So how many alarms do you have starting at 1:50 a.m.?
Let's see, 1:50, 2:05, 2:14, 2:25, 2:32, 2:47, 2:52.
So how come some of them have like 9-minute, 7-minute increments instead of like a 5 or a 10?
I have no idea.
Can I ask what you do?
Well, on Sunday, for the 4 a.m. thing, that's one day a week, I work at Weiss Market.
And Angela from our TikTok said, I'm retired, fortunate to not have to set one.
Angela, we all don't like you.
It gets scary. Nick Cannon said, same.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
The parking lot might be a circus, but it'll be worth it. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate. Covington Township supervisors approved a new Wawa store.
Nice place, Covington. Quiet, cozy, and, well, now it's getting a Wawa. It's like they're saying, you know what? F peace and quiet. Give me a hoagie. It's kind of like the least controversial thing since sliced bread, though. Other towns are yelling about pipelines or whatever. In Covington, they're just like, pass the mustard. We're good.
Those specific details about the site's address or construction schedule weren't released in public records. The decision followed standard zoning and planning reviews with no reported opposition during the meeting.
So they're not going to tell us where it's going or when it's opening. It's like a Wawa mystery. Pacchio Covington LLC has a secret sandwich plan. I picture them blindfolding me, driving me to the site, and then boom, there's a Wawa. And I'm like, is that a Sizzly? Oh.
Exact Economic impacts like job numbers or tax revenue weren't specified in the announcement.
Oh, look, it's going to bring jobs. We know that. But mostly it's going to bring me closer to my shorty addiction. It's just that simple.
The process moved forward without controversy, unlike other regional development projects facing pushback.
And that's what I want to hear. Like the folks up in Covington, they know what's up. No worries, build a Wawa. They're all about it, man. Now, the big question for me, are they going to have enough tasty cakes in stocks? Because if I roll up and the peanut butter candy cakes are gone, that's it. I'm staging a protest. I'm blocking the doors. Give me sugar or give me death. Northeast PA's Classic Rock. Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, I think it's important for us as people, as a species, to understand each other a little bit better.
Well, we can take a step towards doing that if we spend a little time in each other's heads.
And we'll start with the ladies on Rock 107.
And now it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
It's 4:20 time again. Great. Now that burnout who works in the copy room will be super chatty about how this is his holiday. We get it, Trevor. You like smoking pot. Yes, I know you can make clothing from hemp. But why is it always such ugly, baggy clothing? Seriously, you don't see a lot of fashion-forward hemp dresses. No one's wearing a hemp gown to a wedding. I mean, come on. Hemp clothing looks like it was designed by someone who thinks burlap bags are a fashion basic. You'd have to be stoned to wear that stuff in public. But if I smoked, I'd get the munchies. I always do. Yeah, it never fails. If I toke up, I spend the next few hours tearing through everything in the cabinets. If I smoked pot every day, can you imagine all the weight I would put on? Then I would need some of that ugly, baggy hemp clothing to cover my rolls. Ah, now it all makes sense.
And that was another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
So that and you think, well, there it is. What's up with Prospector and Kate? Why are they ripping on the women?
We'll make fun of the men after the break on Rock 107.
It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Kate, before the commercials, we did something wonderful.
Spent a minute inside a woman's head.
Now it's time for a man's head.
But a man's attention span is so much shorter.
A few seconds inside a man's head.
Well, it's 420 season. Hey, slow-mo. Smoke up if you want. Maybe just keep it to yourself. Unless, of course, you're sharing your bud. Then, yeah, man, I'm down.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A group of pickleballers in Texas broke a world record by playing pickleball for 36 straight hours. The old record was 34 hours, set by a group in the UK last year. The event in Texas raised over $18,000 for a charity called Taylor's Gift that supports families of organ donors.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Prospector Show on Rock 107. Kate, we have amazing tickets to give away. What are we giving away today?
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts are going to be at the FM Kirby Center this Saturday night. We have your tickets.
Yeah, now you can buy tickets, Ticketmaster.com. You can get them at slpconcerts.net or the Kirby Center box office. But hey, we got them free if you know today's classic rock video game song. I think it's doable. Do you think so?
Sure, why not?
Well, Steve is waiting on the rock lines. He's driving into work this morning. Dude, what kind of work do you do?
Northeast Gutter Pro.
Okay, so you put up gutters and things like that?
Yes, sir.
All right, can we work something out for a free gutter for Casa de Prospector? All right. We might be able to give you something free, and there's nothing nefarious about it. Do you know today's classic rock video game song?
Staying Outside.
Yeah, baby!
Awesome.
Congratulations to our winner from Rock 107. You're going to see Joan Jett.
Awesome.
Well, we got more chances to win tomorrow morning, don't we, Kate?
Yes, we do.
We'll play more silly games to hook you up. It's Stained. It's outside the classic rock video game song the way it should be heard on Rock 107.
Nominee number 1.
Mardi Gras was last month in New Orleans. But a bunch of unsuspecting families got a taste of it this past weekend in Anaheim, California. A 38-year-old man got fully naked at Disneyland on Saturday night. He got up onto a building and started running around the awning on the outside of the building. He was in a section of the park called New Orleans Square that's supposed to look like the French Quarter, and a bunch of parents and kids got the full Bourbon Street experience, I guess. Someone on Reddit said the guy was also running around the side streets and climbing a tree at one point. According to police, he was on drugs. Park security eventually corralled him. Anaheim police took over from there. They didn't give a name, but they did say he's from Canada. He's facing charges for trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics.
Nominee number 2.
Maybe she's just very unsure about her travel plans. 52-year-old Taryn Dixon of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania found herself in hot water after allegedly pulling off a bizarre scam. She reportedly made over 400 fake hotel reservations at a Cumberland County hotel, only to cancel them later, costing the business upwards of $2,000. The no-show fees didn't cover the losses as rooms sat empty. Dixon didn't stop there. She used fake names, including that of Merle Ebert, who's a county prosecutor who passed away in 2024. Hotel staff finally fed up with the chaos, tipped off authorities, and after an investigation, the DA's office charged her with theft and fraud-related offenses.
And the winner is
the guy who got naked at Disneyland and then ran around their New Orleans section fully nude. You're the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107.
Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.